Hello and welcome in this video. In this particular video, I'm going to show you how you can create crazy AI deepfake videos. And I have taken some inspiration from this video released on March 13th of 2022 with over 487 million views. That, if you want to translate it to how much money, well, of course, this is let's just say, it's a case of something. This is called one in a lifetime luck. But I have a technique which I've developed that you can use AI to create these types of crazy videos. Now, I'm going to play this without the music so that you can see what I'm talking about. So here, I'm not sure if this is real or not. If this was real, then it would be really insane that they were capable of creating such a show, to be honest with you. But this is actually pretty hilarious if they manage to kind of make this kind of video right here. Now, one thing to know with Google Gemini is that you can add videos to Google Gemini by copy pasting a video. Okay. And then you can ask Google Gemini to interpret what the video is about. And then we can go about creating the most important thing is an image that we can use on Sora 2, which can help us to create a pretty cool video that kind of looks like this. Maybe better, maybe not. But let's get going. All right, let's get started with this type of video today. So first and foremost, I'm going to say, can you interpret and understand this video or the following YouTube video? By the way, the reason why Google Gemini can understand YouTube videos is because Google has the advantage of owning YouTube. All right, so they're YouTube's owners. Therefore, they have the data. Okay. So Google Gemini was actually also, that's the different thing between Google Gemini and ChatGPT is that Google Gemini not only was programmed based on text images, but it was also programmed based on videos from YouTube, which makes it significantly better right now than ChatGPT. And I'm kind of shocked to say this because just 6 months ago, I was the biggest fan of ChatGPT, but right now, I completely made the switch to using Google Gemini. To be honest with you, I think it's just getting a lot better, and ChatGPT is getting a lot um, slower to catch up. They used to kind of, whenever Gemini releases a new feature, back in the days of the Google Bard days when Google Gemini was called Google Bard, um, Gemini was kind of weaker, but whenever they kind of released anything, any kind of feature, ChatGPT kind of got online or OpenAI got online and they basically just they released something that just blows them out of the water. But right now, it seems like Google is going to the moon right now. It's kind of like reminds me of the Yahoo versus Google situation. But I don't know what can unveil in the future, but seemingly right now, I think that at this time, it's fair to say that Google Gemini is much more convenient to use if you want to make money online, do a bunch of things, organize your work better, be more productive, generate better images. Is this the case? All right, so you can see here that it has described the video. It says based on the visual and audio analysis of the video, here's an interpretation. What is happening in the video depicts a spectacular and likely digitally created choreographed scene inside a large soccer stadium. The players, instead of 22 individuals, the field is filled with hundreds of small figures. All right, so I mean, it actually got the point. So that's the cool thing. It kind of even put the image here, the video for me here to see. So what I'm going to say is following. Um, I would like to create a similar video to that. Can you create one for me in exactly the same size as that video? Now, the reason why I'm saying can you create that for me is because I will try to use both Google Gemini's VO3 as well as Sora 2. Now, inside of Gemini, they have the option to create videos using VO3. The only thing I'm afraid of right now is that it might not generate the video in this chat and it might ask me to go to another chat because usually if you want to generate videos inside of Gemini, you have 3 shots at this. So 3 credits a day. And usually it asks you to go into a new chat, but here it doesn't seem to ask that. So that's good. It's generating it within the same chat. And as they say, it usually takes about 1 minute to 2 minutes. And it's highly flexible. So you can basically just mention the exact size you want the video to be at. So if you want your video to be a 3 by 4, you can just mention it. If you want it to be 9 by 16, you can mention it. Now over here, what I said is I want my video to be the same size as this. And for those that don't know, shorts, they can be in different sizes if you want them to be. For instance, in this particular case, this short is basically optimized for this particular size on phone on computer. But if you view this on a phone, this is how you're going to see it. Okay. But we're not going to risk it. In our case, yes, it might generate it in a 3 by 4 size, 3 in terms of width, 4 in terms of height. But then at the end of the day, I can just format it as a 9 by 16, and I'm okay leaving those empty dark black gaps here because I don't want to risk this video being considered as a normal or long form video. So here, let's just scroll down. It seems like it has created a video. Now, I like to download my videos instead of just watching them like that. And let me just assess if this is good enough. I mean, it does look pretty fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. But all those people standing there, I kind of don't like it. And so I'm gonna actually go back right here and I'm gonna say, I want you to create an image uh, as like a picture from above the stadium depicting a Real or a Barcelona player passing the ball to another Real Madrid player um, as kind of like a celebration before starting the game or the El Clasico, inspired by the video you just analyzed. Now, I already know this, that when you generate a video right off the bat, it is not going to be great, okay? But if you have a start frame and then you turn that frame into a video, that works a lot better. That's why they've added 2 years ago or more, they've added the image to video option in these generative AI tools, is because when you generate a video based off an image, it just is worlds better as opposed to just text to video. Usually is not that great. Now over here, it did exactly what I've requested, except for the size. I'm not okay with it. So what I'll say is this. I'll say the size should be a 3 by 4 inches. And the reason is because 3 by 4 at least is going to kind of fit well, leaving those gaps, but at least, I mean, there's still room. But for this one, it will just force the people to kind of look at the very middle. But don't tell me that this is not an impressive thing here. This, by the way, is the Bernabeu. I know the Bernabeu when I see it, so this is absolutely the Bernabeu. And you can see it's Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, what better way to represent this? And what looks like a lot of players here, all right, that are making this look like it's Ronaldo and Messi. Now, this is not a 3 by 4, okay, but I would say it's better than the previous one. This is definitely not a 3 by 4. I would say maybe like it would probably be like a 3 by 5 or something like this, or a 2 by 3. That's more like it, but it's not a 3 by 4. But this is a good one. This one is also great, but this is better. And this was inspired by this. All right. So now what I'm going to say, could you write a prompt for SORA 2 to help me turn that image into an animation using SORA 2. Write a simple prompt. I can generate 15 seconds with Sora AI, okay, or Sora 2. Now, it's a shame that I cannot post this video here on my channel because just recently I kind of found like a holy grail type of content that I will need to actually start being or posting more content like that. So I'm not going to risk posting different types of content. I've risked enough on this channel as it is for you guys and girls to kind of experiment with it. But that just kind of, in a way, ruined the channel for you. YouTube. They don't actually understand what my channel is about. So I've seen many of my competitors in this AI niche getting to 500,000 subscribers while we started on equal footing. So I'm gonna stop self-sacrificing my channel, and I'm not gonna post this video. But I'm from now on I'm gonna be showing you how to do these videos, and I'm not gonna post them on my channel anymore. So here, this is like all right, a photorealistic high-angle drone shot looking da 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 da. Are in a stadium, hundreds of tiny individual people wearing colored shirts are arranged from two colossal live mosaic figures. All right, so it knows what it is doing. So right now, in the meantime, I shall go to Sora. And now, usually, if you go to Sora.com, it will redirect you to Sora.chatgpt.com. That's where it's going to take you first. But this is the old version of Sora. Okay, this is the old Sora. Now, if you want to use the new Sora, there is an option here. Usually, it was just right here around the block, but normally, I think I should just click here. They used to show it right here, but now I'm going to click on my name there, and then I can open the new Sora. Now, for the new Sora, it's true you need an invitation code. All right, so basically, I'm going to take this particular image. Doesn't matter if it has this Google Gemini logo right here. So I like to copy it. And how Sora 2 works is you basically need to go to your library or whatever area you have all your projects at. Now, in this account, this is just an experimental. I've created some pretty decent videos here. And so usually you can just paste your image that you want to use as a start frame. And then since it gave us a prompt, we could just go ahead and copy this prompt right here and basically go back to Sora 2, and I can just paste this prompt. I can decide about the duration of the video, whether that is a 10 or 15 seconds. Now, let me just check this video out and see how much time that was it that video, since I'm taking it as an inspiration. I think it's like a 15 seconds total. So yeah, if I go and click on the generation, create a video option, it's going to start and create a video. All right, so basically here it seems like Sora 2 is now requesting and requiring phone verification. So they actually went the extra mile because they know that a lot of people are using VPNs. But still, it seems like if you use your own phone, your own country phone number, they still don't say anything about it. But I'm pretty sure they're going to tighten the grip. But to be honest, if you have like a someone in the US, like a friend, or and they can verify the account for you, or maybe your own family members, then that would be fine. But they just kind of pretty much don't want people from third world countries to use Sora, it seems like, which is kind of sad because I don't think that they should stop people from creating what they want to create with AI. Otherwise, why did they create AI in the first place? So here, as you know, enough of my talking here, you can just paste the image along with a prompt. And usually, the way it works with Sora is, as you can see right here, it's working on it. All right. It takes its time. Okay. So it takes some time for Sora to generate a video. I'm not going to lie. But usually, it does a pretty fantastic job of it. It generates some of the most impressive deepfakes that I've seen. Most of the times, the videos that you'll see Sora generate will kind of look like the real deal. They will kind of look like the real videos. Okay, when someone looks at it from first glance, they'll think that maybe this is actually real. Maybe this actually happened somewhere. Okay, and as for the watermark, because generally with Sora, it will generate videos with a watermark. Now, to get rid of the watermark, there's a software called Bilo, and it can help you get rid of the watermark. There's a software called Bilo. All right, so this Bilo software, it helps you get rid of the watermark, and as I said, it's a pretty impressive tool. All right, now it seems like it's kind of there's a bug here, so let me just refresh my. All right, it seems like it says, all right, this da da da, it violates the policies or whatever. All right, so it seems like we might have used something that violates policy. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say do not mention the name of any player to not violate policies. Write a prompt that should just animate the scene. All right, to create a scene where the player passes, the other passes the ball back. Focus on the animation. No need to mention a club or anything. Now, if Sora 2 persists, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to use Kling AI because Kling AI doesn't say no to most things. Or I can also use Grok. So therefore, I'm not limited as to the potential. So if Sora doesn't want to generate this, fine. I don't care. I'm going to do it my way. You know, so there are multiple ways on how you can do about it. So if Sora rejects your prompts, don't go out there and say, oh well, I hope that it did generate my prompt. Now here the issue is it's thinking that I'm asking it to generate a video, and I'm going to say I am not asking for a video. I want you to generate the edited prompt. You know, it's kind of this is my problem with Gemini. My only problem is this. That sometimes it just disregards your entire prompt and it just goes ahead and takes one word of that prompt and it thinks, "Oh, you want me to generate my video." So it doesn't fully comprehend the text, okay? I don't know why this prompt is so huge. I'm going to say, "Why is this prompt so big?" It can be shorter. In the meantime, because Sora is kind of making us a little, you know, it's kind of making it a little weird for me here. I'm going to open Grok just to show you that AI can actually animate this stuff, right? So first and foremost, as usual, we need the image as a base. So this is the image. I'll drag it and drop it into some window. And in terms of Grok, in order to create a video, you need to click on Imagine here. And then you can, all right, well, we're on a heavy load, blah, blah, blah. That's my issue with Sora. And like I said, that's my issue. Now, it seems like it actually launched my generation here. It just that it's not to me, right? But it did launch. And I've managed to generate some videos with it that are pretty weird, like this one, for example. There. And it didn't seem to kind of like have a issue with this. But the problem I have with Sora 2 is that it just all these policies and all these and stuff, they're just making it impossible to use. Now, in the meantime, Grok, most likely, as you can see, has already generated the animation for us. I mean, this can be used. All right. And if you want to create a more perfect animation, you can say aerial view. You can edit your prompt. So you can create like aerial view of a stadium where thousands of people form, two giant soccer players on the grass. They flew, actually here, instead of saying they fluidly pass the ball back and forth, I could say the Barcelona player slowly passes the ball to the Real Madrid player. And then we can generate like a slow animation of the Barcelona player passing the ball to the Real Madrid player. And then I'll show you a way on how you can generate like a second 5.8 seconds, because usually Grok generates like a 5.8 seconds. That's why they say it's 6 seconds, but it's 5.8. But you can do it separately. You can generate like the first half and then you generate the second half of it, while Sora is still stumbling here, seemingly still trying to whatever. I think I'm just gonna quit Sora, for this tutorial because it just is disappointing. Let me just move out of here. Now, by the way, I can use Kling AI, so it's able to create the most magnificent videos. You can go up to 10 seconds of animation, and there is another one which is better than this one, and it generates videos with sound. It's called Kling 2.6, and it's kind of like the cheap version of Aura or Google VO3, and it usually doesn't have all these weird restrictions that seemingly we have on other platforms. So you just need a start frame, and the start frame in this instance is like this particular video right here. So I should just drag and drop this one like so, and video. Now I like this one better because they kind of change the camera angle, and so all you need to do is, now that you have two scenes together, you can just attach them together, and you'll have like a 11 seconds or 12, close to 12 second scene. The first frame being that one, the first video, and the second frame being this video right that we're looking at right now. So this is going to be, let me remove the music. This is going to be the first frame. And then the second frame is basically this one right here. So now you have both frames, okay? But, that's just in case no other tool was able to generate what you like. But usually, as I said, what I would go for is I would go for Kling AI if Sora doesn't do the trick. Now Sora could have just done an animation just as good as this one, right? But they just refused. Now let me just replay. So this is the beginning. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Now this one is more believable. First of all, because it has the sound. Second of all, is because they're moving too slow. Because I mean, you can't expect that if people are the ones that are making this character up, because there's going to be people wearing all blue, people wearing all red, and they're trying to make it look like this is a real player. All right, just like in this particular video right here. All right, so you can't expect that these people are actually going to they're going to move so fast. Like this, in this case, you can see they are moving slow because that's the most they can move. You can't really expect them to move so fast. I mean, if this was actually a real thing, I'm not sure if this was real. I don't seem to actually trust this. Maybe I don't know. I mean, it seems real. It was released on 2022. That's before Sora 2, before any AI tool could do this. Maybe that was a real thing. But you can see that this, I mean, even if people know that this is an AI video, believe me, they'll still like it because you have to admire the creativity. All right, there is a lot of creativity going on in there. Now, other things you can do, for instance, if you want to go viral, is to kind of like create impressive images, turn them into a video. So, for example, I'm going to say create a 9 by 16 deepfake real like looking video of a squirrel that uh, you know pretty much is in the middle of a Real Madrid Barcelona match that seems to have stolen the ball, and he's running away with the ball in his feet, or he's running away with the ball. Now here, instead of a squirrel, I think maybe cat, and I think maybe black cat, like black cat. All right, and because I said 9 by 16 inches, realistic deepfake image. I'm gonna say image instead of video. My bad, I said video there. I should say image because the last thing I want is to go and use um, Google VO3 to generate a video that I'm definitely not gonna like. But you get the point. So there are a lot of videos out there as well. Cats in stadium. Now I'm just trying to give you some ideas. By the way, I could go on and on and on, but you can create fake footage. Like for example, this is definitely a fake one. All right, but people believe this to be true. I mean, a lot of people look at this and they say, oh, no, no, this is true. I mean, this is just not true, right? It's not true at all. I mean, it's impossible, right? But they created this using Sora, okay? And the thing is, not Sora. I don't think it's Sora. I think they probably just used like a green screen because this was in 2019. But you can do this with Sora right now, okay? So with Sora AI, you can do this. But you can see that they kind of did this with a green screen. So green screen is basically a technology that allows you to remove backgrounds off of videos, and you can manipulate certain things. But you don't really need it anymore now with Sora that can generate the most craziest stuff. All you need is to use like a tool like this, like Google Gemini, for example. You can see this is a hyper realistic footage. All right, but I kind of don't like the way the ball looks, but the football, not the ball. I'm gonna say the football as the cat seems to be close to the penalty area and it's trying to score. You know, people would really make no distinction between this and true real reality. To be honest, it does look real. All right, so it's doing the next or second image. Okay, after I just tried to improve it. Now for this one, I'm not gonna spend tokens on Gemini, but or on Kling. But if I wanted to kind of like make a video out of this, I could. Okay, I could make a video out of this using Grok, and I could say something like the players are chasing the cat. Well, as a matter of fact, let me do it right now. I mean, what am I waiting for? And then I'll wrap up with this tutorial because there's a lot of things that we need to see. So if I drag this particular image right here, I can say something crazy like black cat broke into the stadium pitch and it is running away with the ball as the players are following it in the Bernabeu. All right. And then I can just submit. Now I could definitely generate a much better video using Sora. Now, another thing that is very important is camera angles and the such, the context. All this stuff is very important. But I mean, if you look at this, it really does look like it's like a real life football match. And all of this is thanks to Google's extensive library of images. That's why they have become so powerful as an image generation tool because of their extensive library of images. So kind of like anything you ask them to generate, they are able to do that. deepfakes more precisely is because they have a lot of other examples of similar images, and all they need to do is to like add like a tweak. For example, in this case, I asked them to add like a cat, and so all they need to do is to find a bunch of images of the Real Madrid versus Barcelona match, and all they need to do is plant a cat in there to make it seem like there's a cat there. All right, watch this. Now, if this is not a cool cool video, I don't know what is. Now, Sora will do a much better job. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you, Sora is gonna do a much better job. Also, I could say something like Black Cat scores the goal and celebrates. All right, Black Cat scores the goal and celebrates. I could animate this like this if I wanted to, which would also be pretty hilarious if you ask me. And this is the pretty much last video we'll create in this tutorial, because I'm gonna have to wrap up and move on to something else. There's a lot. There's a lot that I still have to teach you in this course, but these are some techniques, you know, and do not underestimate these techniques, okay? Because these are just techniques that, for the most part, you just won't find out there. You won't find people teaching this. All right, so now we have two different variations, and one is that one has sound.
Unbelievable. The cat is through. It shoots and scores. The cat is
It's not that great,
now
but
it's celebrating.
I mean,
What a
whatever.
moment.
It's a pretty fun video. All right, so that's that. Thank you very much. Wishing you the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z signing out.